A long time ago, a young man lived in a town. He was timid. Whenever he met someone new, he couldn't talk to them. Even with people he knew, he had trouble speaking. His shyness made him very sad because it stopped him from achieving anything. As time passed, his shyness worsened, making him feel more anxious and hopeless. He didn't know how to overcome this problem. His family was also worried about him. They wondered if he would ever be able to succeed in life. People took advantage of his humility and treated him poorly whenever he got a job. He couldn't stand up for himself, so people would say mean things to him and walk away. Because of this, he couldn't keep a job for long and would quit soon after starting. His mind was full of thoughts and desires, but he couldn't share them with anyone because of his shyness. He was suffering inside, with all his feelings bottled up. As a child, people liked him and found his shyness endearing. But as he grew older, this shyness became a big problem. He desperately wanted to overcome it and speak freely like others. However, whenever someone approached him, he would freeze and couldn't speak properly, even in front of his parents, except for a few close friends. People laughed at him and made fun of him when he tried to speak up. They would say things like, "Oh, you finally found your voice." This made his father very worried. He wanted his son to be able to express himself. One day, after seeing his son embarrassed again, the father got very angry and scolded him harshly. The young man, feeling hurt, ran away from home without saying a word. It was evening, and he hadn't returned home yet, causing his parents to worry. The young man ran to the top of a hill. He looked down and cried out to God, asking why he was made this way. He felt useless because people laughed at him, and he couldn't respond. He thought his life was pointless. As he was about to jump, he heard a voice from behind, "Son, it's easy to end your life, but you won't get it back." He turned around and saw a Buddhist monk. Startled, he stood there, unable to speak because of his shyness. The monk asked him why he wanted to end his life and explained that life is a precious gift. The young man tried to deny his intentions, but the monk insisted that he needed to share his problem to get help. The young man finally opened up about his shyness and how it made his life difficult. He explained how people made fun of him, and he couldn't defend himself. The monk listened patiently and explained that extreme shyness often comes from fear. He asked the young man to tell him who he felt the most shy around. The young man said it was his father. The monk then asked him to approach his father and ask for some money. If he could do that, the monk would help him further. The young man felt very nervous, but decided to try. He went home and nervously asked his father for money. "Father, I need to talk to you." His father replied, "Yes, tell me, what is it?" The young man said, "Father, I want to do something and need some money from you. Can you give me some money?" Hearing this, his father looked at him attentively, and after a long pause, he joyfully gave him some money and said, "Son, is this enough? Do you need more?" The young man replied, "No, father, this is enough. I will manage with this." The young man ran back to the monk with the money in his hand and showed it to him, saying, "Master, I have brought the money as you said. I asked my father for it. Now please tell me the solution to my problem." The monk replied, "Why the hurry? I have another task for you before I can tell you the solution. If you can't complete this task, I will never tell you the solution." Hearing this, the young man said, "Master, I have already done one task for you, and now you want me to do another?" The monk replied, "Yes, you must do this task for me." After thinking for a while, the young man said, "All right, tell me, what do I have to do now?" The monk replied, "Go and return the money to your father, telling him that you don't want to work right now, but when the time comes, you will take the money from him again to complete your work." Hearing this, the young man trembled and said, "Master, please give me another task. I will do it, but if I return the money, what will my father think of me? I will be embarrassed in front of him. So, master." The monk listened patiently and then said, "Son, this is the point of the exercise. If you face your fear, you will overcome it. If you avoid it, it will always control you. You need to trust the process and believe that you can do it." The young man took a deep breath and decided to follow the monk's advice. He returned home, feeling nervous but determined. He approached his father and said, "Father, I need to talk to you again." His father, curious, replied, "Yes, son, what is it?" The young man, gathering all his courage, said, "Father, I realize that I am not ready to start my work yet. I want to return the money you gave me. When I am truly prepared, I will ask for your help again." His father looked at him with surprise, but then smiled warmly. He said, "Son, I am proud of you for being honest and for facing your fears. It takes a lot of courage to do what you just did." The young man felt a wave of relief and pride wash over him. He had faced his fear and found that it wasn't as daunting as he had imagined. He returned to the monk, feeling more confident than ever. He said, "Master, I did what you asked. I returned the money to my father and told him the truth." The monk smiled and said, "Well done, my boy. You have taken the first step towards overcoming your shyness. Remember, the key to overcoming fear is to face it head-on. The more you confront your fears, the less power they will have over you." The young man nodded, feeling a newfound sense of strength. The monk continued, "From now on, whenever you feel shy or afraid to speak, remind yourself that you have the power to overcome it. Take small steps every day to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Speak to strangers, express your thoughts to your family, and gradually you will find that your shyness will diminish." The young man followed the monk's advice diligently. He started engaging in small conversations with strangers, sharing his thoughts more openly with his family, and slowly but surely, he began to feel more confident. His shyness started to fade, and he found himself able to express his thoughts and feelings without hesitation. Years passed, and the young man became known in his town for his wisdom and eloquence. He was no longer the shy, quiet boy who couldn't speak his mind. He had transformed into a confident and articulate individual, all thanks to the guidance of the monk and his determination to overcome his fears. One day, he visited the monk to express his gratitude. He said, "Master, you changed my life. Because of you, I was able to overcome my shyness and become who I am today. Thank you for your wisdom and guidance." The monk smiled and said, "The power to change was always within you, my son. I merely showed you the way. Remember, you have the strength to overcome any obstacle in your life. Believe in yourself, and you will achieve great things." The young man left, carrying the monk's words in his heart. He continued to live his life with confidence and courage, inspiring others to face their fears and believe in themselves. And so, the shy young man became a beacon of hope and inspiration for many, proving that with determination and the right guidance, anything is possible.